If you're an author, you know that this industry can be incredibly stressful at times, and our work is so time-consuming and so emotion-involving that it can be really easy for us to burn out quite quickly in this industry. And so we as authors need to manage our stress as best as we can in order to thrive in this space. And we talk a lot about stress management and how to thrive as an author here on the channel. Between my content and our guest stars who come on to speak and educate you, we've got a lot of really good strategies here for you to pick and choose from to see what's going to work best from you. But I want to break down 6 things that you can be considering right now to help you with stress. These are 6 things that I do to manage my stress as well. The first is that I work in projects. I'm very, very clear when I am doing my work. And I am somebody who runs multiple businesses. So I am an author. I do run multiple businesses. At one point, I was also doing a 9-to-5. I had a lot going on. I still have a lot going on. And because I'm doing so much, I have to work in projects. So when I'm writing a novel, I am all in on that novel. I am spending the majority of my time, like 80% of my time, is on that novel. And the other 20% is the other things. It is managing and maintaining my other businesses. It is doing my marketing. It's doing the other stuff that I have to do in order to create an income for myself. So I am focused on projects. When I'm writing a novel, 80% of my day or 80% of my focus is on that novel for the duration of writing that novel. Now, I write really fast. You might not be able to do this in the same way. I can get a novel done in 2 weeks. You might take longer, so it might look a little different from you. When I am not writing my novel, that 80% then shifts to my other business, and I am doing projects inside of that business, be it creating YouTube videos or building a course or doing a special project for somebody. My 80% is going to that project and not my writing. My writing is then in my maintain state where I am going to manage what I've got going on. I'm doing my marketing, I'm answering emails, but it's the lowest maintenance possible for it to survive and keep going forward. So I do things in projects. I am heavily invested in working in that book. When that book is done, now I am building a course for my social media education students. Now I am going to go and I am going to do a project for my dog influencer platform. Now I'm going to write another book. I'm very focused and spend a good chunk of my day focused on that project for the duration of the project until it's done and out of my way. So doing things in projects is incredibly helpful for making sure I am focused and keeping everything else running without trying to do a little here and a little there and a little there and taking forever to get all the things done. By doing it all in one chunk, I get it done faster, get that project out of the way, and then I can move forward in ways to make money from that so that I can then focus on another project. Another way that I spare myself a lot of stress is by focusing on the content that I am creating for my marketing, for my social media that goes out on the internet. And I'm very clear in streamlining that. 95% of the content I'm creating is done start to finish in under 5 minutes. That is the conception of the idea, figuring it all out, doing it, and getting it live on the internet. Start to finish under 5 minutes for 95% of what I'm doing. This means I have time to do bigger, more involved projects that take more work or more effort or more planning or are the longer projects. But most things I'm creating in under 5 minutes. And that's my short form content. That's my photos or my graphics, my captions, the things that I'm putting out that are under 5 minutes of in the public eye. So my YouTube videos, of course, if they're going to be longer, if those are going to be a 14-minute recording, I can't do that in 5 minutes, of course. But anything that's going to be seen by my audience in under 5 minutes is done in under 5 minutes. And that, again, is writing my scripts, filming, editing, posting, all in under 5 minutes. So I really streamlined my process of content creation so that the vast majority of it I can create quickly, effectively, and in a way that I can monetize it really profitably. So I'm very, very good at understanding what works and how to do it. And I'm streamlining the process of the creation so that I'm not taking a ton of time to waste time to create content. Most content can be created very, very quickly once you learn how to do it properly. So I'm very, very good at that. And then I have time and effort for some of those bigger projects to do as well. I'm also very specific with my timelines. Timelines are incredibly important to make sure I am managing my work. I do not want to have really far out deadlines. I want to make sure everything is very streamlined inside of my day, inside of my week, and inside of my month. I do not want to waste a lot of time. So I have very clear guidelines on how long I'm willing to do a project. I understand that I can write a full-length novel in 2 weeks. Actually, I can write it in 9.5 days and then get it to my people to read it so that I can then go through it and handle anything I need to fix before turning it into my editor. And so I know those expectations. I give myself 2 weeks to write a novel when I'm writing a novel, and that's it. I don't get extra time. Of course, if an emergency comes up, there's some leeway, but I give myself those deadlines. I understand how long it's going to take me to film a YouTube video. I get that I may stumble over some words, I may have to repeat myself, but I have a specific amount of time in which I'm willing to do that. And if it gets too close to it, it is what it is. It's not that serious. We're not going to spend 3 hours creating a 3-minute video. I have very specific timelines on emails, how long I'm going to spend on emails. I have very specific timelines on everything that I do, and I have those expectations of deadlines. And if I don't meet them, then I lose my own personal time. I lose my fun time. I lose the ability to stay up and watch TV. I have to then stay up and do the work. I lose my ability to go do a fun thing on the weekend. I'm taking things away if I don't meet those deadlines. So I'm very, very clear and very, very specific on my schedule and on my timelines so that I'm not wasting time. Because if I just say, well, I'm going to write a book, but I don't have a deadline attached to it, I don't know when I need to get that done to then do the other things. Now, all of a sudden, does it really matter if I finish it today? Does it really matter if I get it done? No, I can push it till tomorrow. It's fine. And then we're 7 months later and that book is still not written. So it's very, very important to make sure I have dedicated timelines, and I'm only moving those timelines if there's an emergency. And these are not ridiculous or unreasonable timelines. I understand how quickly I can work and how quickly I do work. So I give myself enough time to get it done without burning myself out, but I'm not giving myself extra time to kind of lull around and see what I'm going to maybe do, or is something more important. I make sure I adhere to those timelines. I also make sure that I stay very organized by keeping running notes of what I'm going to be doing. And this is everything from what I'm doing inside of my books, to book ideas, to marketing ideas, to my marketing process, to answering interview questions, etc. I want to make sure that I'm keeping running notes of what is happening. And I make sure I do this where I can access them on multiple devices, because I do not want to have a Word document with my really great marketing ideas and then have to wait until I get home from wherever I was and turn on my computer and hopefully remember the things and add it to the list, or to check things. If I'm out and about and I cannot get access to certain things that I need to give to people, that's a problem. So I keep running notes on my phone. I'm all Apple-based for most of what I have. And so I've got the iPhone, I've got my MacBooks, I've got all those things, and they have a note app that then crosses over from device to device. You can do this inside of something like a Google Doc if you need to, that you can access from your phone, from your tablet, from your computer, from wherever. I like it because it translates. If I can type something on my phone, it also shows up on my computer. I can put it on my computer, it also shows up on my phone. I can access it from multiple locations. I can add to it from multiple locations. And this allows me to keep track of everything I'm doing, everything I'm thinking, and gives me access to the information when I need it to either develop that idea or to give information to somebody. Running notes on a place that you can access from multiple devices is a game changer. And if you've been around for a while, you also know that I leverage pockets of time. I do not waste my time because that time adds up. One of my favorite stories to tell is when I started working a few years ago in one of my new office spaces, I was constantly having to stand up to turn on my lights to film videos. So every time I had to film a TikTok, an Instagram, a YouTube video, every time I had to film anything, I would have to stand up from my desk. I would have to go to the hallway and turn off the lights. I would have to turn on all of my ring lights. And then I would have to set up anything else that I was going to film with. And that took a lot of time. I calculated how long it took. And every single week, I was spending a solid hour, 1 hour of my time just standing up, turning on and off lights. So then when I realized I was wasting an hour of my time just turning on lights, I rigged all of my lights up so that I could click one button and turn all of my lights on. I did not have to stand up to turn things on and off and move things around and do all of these things that wasted an hour of my time every week. I got an hour of my time back to do other things. Pockets of time are game changers. If you know that you are going to be out and about and you are not the person driving and they stop to get gas in their car, and you can sit in the front seat and type on your phone notes for your book, or you can work on a scene, or you can edit something on your Google Doc, 4 minutes while they're getting gas, you have now just worked. If you know you're going to the grocery store and you're going to be standing in line, you can work for a couple of minutes in line. That's gaps of time. These pockets of time add up. So I'm constantly looking for little pockets of time. While I'm waiting for a video to export, I can do something else. While I am waiting for somebody to call me back, I can do something else. I'm looking for little pockets of time with small tasks so that it adds up in the long run. And that is why I personally have so much free luxury time. I run multiple businesses. I am an author. I do a lot of things for a lot of people, but I still have time for me, for fun things, for playing with my puppies, for going for walks in the park, to mall trips, to vacations. I full on take vacations whenever I feel like, because I have built my businesses where I have leveraged my time so well that I have an abundance of free time when I choose to have it or how I choose to have it. And that means I have a lot of freedom inside of my businesses. Even though I do like 6 times what a normal person does in a day, I've built in free time for myself. I'm not overwhelmed or stressed, and I'm not suffering health-wise because I'm so busy, because I am really, really intelligent about when I'm using my efforts and how I'm using my time. Pockets of time can change the game, especially for novel writing. Especially for novel writing, if you take longer than a few days to write a novel, the more pockets of time you can leverage, the literal days you can get done earlier. So try it out. When it comes to being an author, we know it's a very stressful industry, and we do not want you to be stressed, overwhelmed, or burned out because it's so easy to get in that space. So drop your questions down below. Let us know how you make sure that you are not burning yourself out. And if you want more ideas and examples from me, now is the time to let me know. We are dropping daily videos helping you navigate the world of being an author, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress, overwhelm, and time commitment creating your content to make sure that you are thriving in the author space. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.